The Baltimore Ravens cannot be trusted. And I just want to say before we really start talking about the Ravens, Joe, I hate you. And Sammy, I hate you, and you're not even here. I hate you both because these men forced me to pick the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. I had the Bills going to the Super Bowl, and they forced me to pick the Ravens because I didn't want to be like them. So I shifted to the Ravens, and now I have tremendous regret because the Baltimore Ravens lose more games that they are clearly the better team for the majority of the game than any team of the NFL. Giving up a 15-point lead to the Buffalo Bills with 8 minutes and 37 seconds left in the game when the Bills had just a 1.1% chance to win the game, according to next gen stats, which was the 13th most improbable comeback by any team of the last decade. This game was basically unlosable for the Baltimore Ravens because prior to Sunday's game, teams were 277-0 in games, including the playoffs, where they scored 40-plus points and ran for 235-plus yards. And because the Ravens exist, that's now 277-1. Who gets the blame for this, Joe? That's what you're asking right now. Sunday's game, I'm going to put exactly 0% of the blame on Lamar Jackson because he was fantastic. Some of the pass-blown leads he deserves blame for. This one, no, he was tremendous from start to finish. I'm only going to put about 5% of the blame on Derrick Henry for that fumble as well. There's an argument to be made that, again, the fumble is the biggest reason they lost this game. However, his performance has an argument for being the biggest reason that they were even in the game in the first place. And even with the fumble, they're up 8 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. So how did they lose? I'm giving about 45% of that blame to the defense. 497 total yards of offense, 389 through the air, including Josh Allen having 251 passing yards in the fourth quarter, the most since Boomer Esiason in 1996, according to Josh Dubois on X. And according to Opta Stats, he also became the first player in NFL history to have 250-plus passing yards and 2 or more rushing touchdowns in any single quarter in any single game in NFL history. So absolutely unacceptable for a secondary that has the quality players the Ravens have in their secondary, especially against a mediocre wide receiver core like the Buffalo Bills have. And the pass rush for the Ravens was equally as bad, if not worse. If the defense stops the Bills one time, either immediately after the fumble or when the Bills got the ball back, they still win the game. And that brings me to who gets the majority of the blame here, Joe. I'm giving John Harbaugh 50% of the blame because, John, you saw how this game was going. You give the Bills the ball back, this game is over. You are not going to stop the Buffalo Bills no matter what. The Buffalo Bills were going to get into field goal range if they got that ball back. So again, you tell offensive coordinator Todd Monken, do not make this thing conservative. After the Bills scored the touchdown, they didn't get the 2. There's about 2 minutes left on the clock. Tell Todd Monken, do not be conservative. I don't give a damn that you're trying to take these timeouts. Again, we got to go try to win this game as opposed to not try to lose this game. And they tried to not lose it. They go conservative on first and second down. And then third down, they get 6 yards to D-Hop to make it a 4th down. And I'm sorry, but Joe, I know you remember this game when it was Brady versus Manning in 2009, the 4th and 2 game where Belichick decided to go for it. Didn't
I still
get
think
it,
that's a first down.
Dude,
to this day, I think it's a first down.
He was Kevin Falk was still kind of bobbling.
He was bobbling. Kevin Falk bobbled it. I know.
I was hoping it was a first down. Trust me, I was hoping it was a first down.
It's a first fucking down.
Man, that game was, by the way, one of the most incredible regular season games you'll ever see. That one, they're very comparable to this one as well. But again, Belichick decided, let's go for it. I want to put the ball in Tom Brady's hands, and if he can't get us a first down, we don't deserve to win. John Harbaugh, you have to do the same thing with Lamar Jackson. You know who's on the other side. If Josh Allen gets the football, this game is over. And apparently there's some rumors that Lamar Jackson was cramping on that 4th down play or something like that may have affected the decision. I don't give a single shit about that. Lamar, get your cramping ass out on the field and make a freaking play. We got a game to win. All right. Something's got to change in Baltimore, assuming this year ends in a combination of Lamar being subpar in the playoffs, the defense finding crazy leaks in the playoffs as well, and then John Harbaugh finding ways to blow leads continues in the playoffs as well. I will not believe in the Ravens come playoff time, no matter how they finish the regular season, because this team simply cannot be trusted, Joe. So give me your thoughts, man. What do you think about this Baltimore Ravens? Can they be trusted going forward?
If you remember correctly, when we were talking about these two teams, I said that one of these teams is going to go to the Super Bowl this year, and one of them is going to be having a vacancy to fill, regardless of where it's at. Right now, it doesn't look like it should be under center. It looks like it should be on the sideline. You saw them change identity. You saw them go away from what worked. And whose fault is that? Who's to blame? Offensive coordinator? Head coach, defensive coordinator, which side of the ball was it? If it's a coaching staff issue, 100% there should be a vacancy to fill. Is it John Harbaugh? I don't know. Do you know who after week 1 who leads the league in QBR?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Do you know who leads the league in rushing yards?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. Do you know who is tied for the lead in rushing touchdowns?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. You know who leads the league in receiving yards?
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. And you fucking lost?
Lost, bro.
Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and Zay Flowers accounted for 382 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns. 3 guys. The only other touchdown scored in that game was by DeAndre Hopkins. By the way, Tyler Loop, you deserve 1% of this L.
Okay, yes.
You missed an extra point. It's been 41-41. And it should have went to overtime, which would have gave us 10 more minutes of glorious football. Now it's time to flip to the other side of the ball. Thank you, Josh Allen, because I also came out and said Josh Allen was winning the MVP for no other reason than he is the quarterback of my fantasy team, and I need this guy to ball the fuck out. And you delivered, my guy. You see Keon Coleman, 8 catches, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. And plus that tip drill catch, oh man, right place, right time. But you love to see it, right? You were wondering if Keon Coleman could be a 1. He can be a 1. You were wondering how that was going to open to Khalil Shakir, 6 catches, 64 yards. Love it. Joshua Palmer stepped up. James Cook, he had, I think it was 102 total yards of offense, right? And a touchdown. Dalton Kincaid looked good. I mean, this offense looked exactly how you wanted it to look. I'm a little concerned in the defense, but hey, you just went up against probably the best offense you're going to see all year. Don't get me wrong, right? As much shit as we're talking about the Ravens right now and how much we're talking about Buffalo, this is a 1-point game. This is an extra point from overtime. We already called that. We already said that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to call it right now. It's week 1. This is the AFC Championship game preview. This is the first game. We're going to get the second one in the AFC Championship game. I don't think the Chiefs, the way they looked and the injuries that are stacking up and the suspensions can compete with them, even with the fact that Patrick Mahomes had probably one of the best games I've seen from him in a hot minute. Mm-hmm. Right? Because last year I didn't think he looked all that great. This year, like that first game, he looked fantastic, and they still lost to a Chargers team. Mm-hmm. Right? And you're seeing the decisions that they usually make to win isn't there. These teams, even though the Ravens kind of let it drop at the end, they're going to win most of their games. This is the decision really comes down to which one of these teams ends up having home field advantage. I would almost bet that they end with the same record and the Bills get it purely from head to head.
Easily the best game of the week. Might be one of the best games of the year. Like, that was just an incredible football game. One that we'll be talking about years from now. And again, like you mentioned, I'm not saying the Baltimore Ravens are missing the playoffs or anything like that now. Like, they're still winning the AFC North. I think they're still either, like you mentioned, getting the 1 or 2 seed in the AFC. This is one of the best teams in football. However, again, when it comes down time, and like you mentioned, this was my preseason AFC Championship game as well. I thought it was going to be Buffalo and Baltimore. And originally, again, I picked Buffalo, but then you and Sammy both picked Buffalo. So I had to flip to Baltimore because we can't all agree on everything. And now, if this game happens, like, even though the Ravens are technically my pick, like, I have no faith they're going to win this game, because we've seen in these moments over and over and over, they just can't finish for one reason or another. A lot of it's because of John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh now has 17 blown double-digit leads in his career, most by any coach since 1991. And Joe, I know you remember this one. One time versus our Patriots in the playoffs, he blew 2 separate 2-touchdown leads in the same game. And what makes this blown lead even more egregious is the Ravens offense generated the highest explosive play rate at 32% in a game over the last decade on Sunday versus the Bills, per Next Gen Stats. Still lost. By the way, most double-digit blown leads in the fourth quarter over the last 10 seasons, including playoffs. John Harbaugh has the most at 7, and then Kyle Shanahan has the most at 6. And again, the Ravens have now also lost 8 games since 2021, in which at one point they had a win probability of at least 90%. That's 3 more games than the next closest team. I got that stat from Ben Solak on X. So again, you cannot trust this team at all. This team is like you continuing to go back to your ex after she just keeps cheating on you over and over again. She's just going to continuously cheat on you, and you keep going back and you're like, oh no, she's changed. Oh no, she was going through a lot no, you cannot trust her at all. Stop going back to this team. You cannot trust her. She is not loyal. It does not work. Why do you continue going back to the Ravens? It makes no sense.
I just like how you ended this with the Ravens are for the streets.
For real. The Ravens are for the streets, bro. Like, you cannot trust the Ravens. They're going to continue to bite you in the ass every single time. And you're going to think, oh, no, she's mine. She's mine. She ain't yours, bro. She's everybody's. And that's exactly what the Baltimore Ravens are. They're for everybody's taking, not for nobody specifically.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.